Hey, buddy, watch this.
Hello, hello, Regis Gilbin is the name and Hearthstone is the game, and this is a deck guide for my budget mid-range hunter in the Witchwood era. Now, first things first, you'll actually note there are 0 Witchwood cards in this deck. That's simply because nothing released for Hunter, or really even the neutral set in the Witchwood, supported a good budget Hunter style of play. There are a few popular Hunter archetypes right now in the Witchwood meta, with things like Spell Hunter and Recruit Hunter, but frankly, those are both impossible to build on a real 1,000 dust budget, the threshold I stay under for my budget decks for really new and really growing players, people who are legitimately on a budget. So neither of those work, so you kind of have to shift into this other style of play for Hunter, which is mid-range Hunter. And there are a couple okay cards for mid-range Hunter from the Witchwood. Things like Vicious Scalehide, for instance, wouldn't necessarily be terrible, but it's not a great fit, and better alternatives exist from the classic set or from past expansions in standard format. So yes, 0 Witchwood cards here, but nonetheless, a deck designed to succeed in the Witchwood meta, and as you'll see when we get to the gameplay, boy, can it succeed despite its budget nature. And that's really because if you were to build a full version of Mid-Range Hunter, a non-budget Mid-Range Hunter, you really wouldn't be changing out too many cards probably from this list. There's a lot here to work with, a lot that is very successful, and not much in the way of upgrades. We'll get more into that here in a minute, but first I want to talk about the deck itself and what exactly Mid-Range Hunter means and how you play this. And frankly, it's pretty simple. This is a more aggressively minded deck that's looking to get minions out onto the board and then turn those minions into damage to your opponent's face. It is not a face deck necessarily, because some of the cards here aren't all about killing your opponent. There are some things that contribute to early to mid-game board control as opposed to outright just total pure aggression. For instance, cards like Flanking Strike, for instance, is more about swinging the board and ensuring that you always have a minion or two around to get multiple instances of chip damage or chunk damage through to your opponent's face. It's not about just charger after charger after charger. You do have to play just a little bit of board maintenance in order to ensure future damage can hit the board. With things like Houndmaster, that's a follow-up card that ensures you need minions on board to get the max value out of it. Other things like Unleash the Hounds are also better when you're jostling for the board as opposed to just being an outright proactive sort of card. Now that said, there are other things that are just about pure aggression. Kill Command is often just used for that straight-up face damage. Scavenging Hyena can turn into this really insane giant thing that kills your opponent. Wolf Rider is here for a little bit of extra damage, and of course there's always the Hunter Hero power too, which you really need to integrate well into this deck's playstyle in order to make sure that that chip damage continues and you eventually put your opponent in a spot where they just can't stay alive. You've got too many threats on board, you've done too much damage, and you've put them in a spot where Kill Command or your hero power or minion damage just outright ends the game. That's how you play it. And sometimes you'll achieve that just via super curves early, like Dire Maul into Razor Maul into Bear Shark into Houndmaster will just overwhelm them. Other times you have to play a little bit more towards the mid game and use your threats like Savannah Hymanes or some cool stuff with Tundra Rhino to sneak in, 6 points of damage here, 5 points of damage there, chip them away, and then end the game eventually. Now, that said, no real surprises here for how this thing plays. There's no crazy interactions or combos. It's pretty much just playing out your stuff on curve, sometimes setting up at least one turn ahead for kill commands and that sort of thing, but mostly a straightforward and pretty easy to play deck, which of course is always great for true budget decks. Now, as is always the case, not a deck that's designed to take you to the top of the legend ranks, although this is probably one of the better budget decks you're going to find in the Witchwood era, at least from me at this 1,000 dust threshold. If you look for other budget decks that make a little less of a compromise in regards to budget, you might find some better lists out there. But for 1,000 dust or less, this is probably as good as you're going to get, and it's going to hit as hard as anything else you're going to play, because this deck can absolutely win games. Spoiler alert, you're going to see me win some games in this video if you keep watching. That said, there are still a few minor upgrades that you can consider. There's really not much ultimately I'd change about this list. If you gave me unlimited dust, it'd be hard to spend more than a couple thousand dust extra, but I do want to talk about just a few upgrades here for a bit. So for upgrades, I think the number one consideration to make is probably a card like Deathstalker Rexxar. This isn't always a great fit for minion-based hunter decks with a little bit more aggression, because sometimes you're just looking to end the game and you need damage, and your base hero power is better for that than something like Deathstalker Rexxar. So depending on the meta or the matchups you're facing, this isn't even necessarily an upgrade despite being an awesome legendary Death Knight card. But in other cases it might be. If the meta's just a little bit slower, if your opponents have a lot of healing at whatever spot on the ladder you're at right now, Deathstalker Rexar can essentially give you a resource generator that moves you into a different phase of the game in this deck, where it's less about going for damage and playing your cards out really quickly, and it's more about generating a new threat every turn and being able to go longer and play more of a grinded out sort of style via Deathstalker Rexar. So if you have a Rexar laying around, you can toss one in at the end of this deck as sort of a backup plan or an extra win condition against certain kinds of decks or archetypes. It certainly can fit, and people have done it with varying degrees of success depending on the deck build and the meta. So this is something to keep in mind. Beyond that, there's only really a couple other things I think would be a true improvement to this deck. A card like Eaglehorn Bow often fits in Midrange Hunters really nicely. Now, despite the fact that there are no secrets here and no secret synergy to exploit with Eaglehorn Bow, nonetheless, it's just a nice weapon. It's sometimes damage to your opponent's face, and this deck does like to do damage. Other times it gives you some real advantage in that mid-game board control where you're trying to stick a minion or two. This can allow you to kill something of your opponent's to protect your own threat, which gets to attack for multiple times. So, really valuable card, just a staple in Hunter that is often played in almost every kind of Hunter deck. So if you have room or the dust, or you already have some of these laying around, they could certainly be slotted in too, especially in replacing things like Wolf Rider or maybe one Unleash the Hounds. On top of that, I would consider another Vicious Fledgling in this list too. I think Vicious Fledgling is a great fit for this deck. So if you have another 100 dust, you could toss in a Vicious Fledgling for that Wolf Rider. Beyond that, there's really not too much I'd change. You can always go and look at your refined mid-range Hunter list and see if there are cards that you should run. Like, a lot of people don't run Jeweled Macaw necessarily. You could almost run Fireflies in its place. I think the extra beast here is important to empower Scavenging Hyena, but you can just go look at those lists, see what they have, and build your version towards that version if you want the ultimate refined mid-range Hunter list. That's another way to craft as opposed to upgrade by upgrade. Just look at the list and aim your deck towards that deck, make changes that fit that style. That said, that's all I really have to say for upgrades. Really not much to change. So what I'd like to do now is jump into the gameplay. Let's see this deck in action. Let's see how well it can work. Let's see it win some games, because it can win games. It can win games very, very quickly, as you'll soon note. So that said, here's some gameplay of the budget mid-range Hunter as it was recorded live on my Twitch stream. The announcement is awesome. The review season is actually my best season. The month of reviews and the month of experiments are basically 80% of my YouTube. Like, both growth and like revenue value to me all comes from that 2 months. The other 2 months are like 20%. So like right now is the absolute bottom. We bottom out right now because there's nothing exciting about Witchwood anymore, and there's nothing exciting about the new expansion yet because we don't know what it is. So this is when we tend to bottom out in the 3rd month of the expansion. I think we need to go for faster starts. Hyena's not great, but it's okay. I wish we had coin. It'd make me more confident. But with Jeweled Macaw and Razor Maw, it feels a lot better, so that's good. The mulligan saved us. Does your YouTube notification strategy work? Didn't do it yet today. I'm going to hold off one more time. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload stream archives exactly when I go live, and the beginning of the stream archive has a little intro in it that basically says, like, hey guys, I'm live on Twitch, or you can watch this stream archive. But I wanted to build up a little bit of a buffer, and I didn't want to start with streams that were too old, and you guys know I haven't been streaming a ton because I had my wisdom teeth pulled. So I want to get a 4-stream buffer. So today will be the 4th stream I'll have uploaded as a buffer. So basically each new stream I'll turn into a video and upload as the notification for the stream 4 streams from now. But anytime I stream 2 times in a day, it's a lot of video processing time. Because streams are like 3 to 4 hours long. It takes an hour and a half to process them. So I want a little bit of a buffer so that I don't ever end up where I'm out of streams to upload to notify of the next stream, if that makes sense. I just want to be able to keep up. So I decided not to use it today. But starting tomorrow, I will do the YouTube notification thing of a job, I think. Might hold off again tomorrow morning just to think about it some more, but probably start it tomorrow. Okay. This is fine. I guess I could have played the Jeweled Macaw first, probably. Oh. Interesting. Pretty bad against Duskbreaker here, if he can coin it. I need one more beast to die. Well, hopefully we're able to achieve that next turn. That's not quite so bad, though. That I can work with. I'll just trade in both of my other beasts and play this other hyena. So now these are both above 3 health, which is obviously fantastic for Duskbreaker, which I'm not worried about that anymore. And we do know here's the Dragon package, he's the Twilight Acolyte. So another Twilight Acolyte would be pretty good. We could, although Hounds into Hunter's Mark that, so that wouldn't be a problem. Speaking of which, we can do the same with this. And I think I will. I think it's absolutely worth. It's so much damage. He heals a little bit, but this is worth 4 damage now. Okay. God, did I have any sort of lethal? I didn't really think about it. I don't think there was, right? I think I maximized the damage output there, but still insane. Hey, Nano, how's it going? Hey, I think I said, hey, Pedro. Hey, Jerks. He says, rip weekend. It is over, and it went so exceedingly quickly for me. I don't know what happened. I feel like I barely had any weekend at all. That should just be lethal, yeah. Cool. He couldn't get to Amara in time. We had to win super fast because Amara was coming, and we did. The double hyena did work. I complained about it, but actually it was fantastic. That's the budget midrange hunter. I totally forgot to put up the deck tracker the whole time the game went so fast. Oh my god. I still haven't come close to finishing my monster hunt. I still gotta beat Tess. Yeah, I'm the same way. Will you play Even Lock? Probably not today. I'm gonna be trying to focus on these budget decks a little bit, and I'm not gonna stream for too long today. I'm gonna keep it to 2 hours tonight. Just because I know the last 3 days, every time I've done it, I've not regretted streaming, but I've had mouth pain, and I'm still really nervous that I'm messing up my healing by talking too much. And Jerks there scared me yesterday in particular. He gave me some spooky stories about it. So I don't want to get any dry sockets or like go overboard. Trying to be very measured and careful. So let's see. Big Mood, thanks to the 2 bits, and always Smork the System. Sorry that it took me a minute, man, but I appreciate the Twitch Prime sub, of course. Thank you much for the love, Smork. I feel like you've been wanting to drop that sub for a while. So thank you for making the move finally there and showing the love, dude. Goes a long way. You don't have to sub to show the love, of course, but I greatly appreciate it, obviously. So thank you. Oh, that's good. We've been hitting some good 2-drops off our Jeweled Macaws today. Do you consider Spellstone for this budget hunter? I did. The problem was it was really difficult to build a secret package that I liked. Like, you can run Explosive Trap and Freezing Trap, but you really want that 3rd secret in there. In, like, Wandering Monster, for instance. It's really good, but it's a rare, and by the time you add in a couple rares there, and you add in the Spellstones, which I think are both rares as well, right? I don't remember exactly. I think Emerald Spellstones are rare, right? Yeah, they're rare too. Then you end up with like 400 dust already, and there's just not much left to work with, and ultimately I want to keep the deck under 1,000 dust. That's just part of the goal. And so it wasn't very easy to build a really strong deck around that, and I felt like this mid-range hunter list was far more consistent and affordable, essentially. I mean, affordable's the word. Like, it was easier to make this one work, I felt like. Houndmaster on this Jeweled Macaw is gonna be crazy, but I think I'd rather Flanking Strike first. Just because it cleans up this minion so easily. This looks like another Quest Priest, but he didn't play Quest. I don't know. Maybe just like a combo priest, but you can't run loot order in that, can you? Because you're not going to be able to resummon your stuff. I don't know. I don't know what we're facing here. In this bottom out time, play some Wild. Well, I usually start playing Wild in the 4th month. In other words, the oh, I'm glad he used that, because now the Houndmaster here has a much higher likelihood of sticking on the Wind Furied Jeweled Macaw, which is a lot of damage, of course. Duskbreaker is a problem, I guess. Again, like always. I don't know how we answer that, but with double kill command in hand, well, Flanking Strike's how we answer Duskbreaker, I guess, but I don't know how we get enough damage out of it, I should say. We lose so much. But, Yeah, with double kill command in hand, we're looking very nice here. Very, very nice. I don't have a cheap beast activator right now for these if the game goes long, like if he clears this board. Oh my, that is a very bad turn. That's gotta be lethal, right? Like, it feels like lethal. We're definitely not attacking into that minion. Wow, he just smorked that guy so freaking hard. Absolutely crazy. So anyway, Wild, I usually do in the 4th month, like during the card review season and stuff. Play Wild. Last time we did that, we even hit Legend in March, I think it was. So, oh my god, I still didn't get a deck tracker up! Oh my god, I'm the worst. I'm way behind on chat. I'm sure you guys are spamming pink everywhere, and I haven't seen it yet because I'm so far behind. Oh man, I'm the worst! Let's see. What type of mechanics do you want to see? I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of deck manipulation stuff. Like storing cards and hiding cards and moving cards. I think that's what we're going to see. I don't know if it's good or not, but that's what's going to happen. Someone that doesn't stream in 60p finally can use 1080 without my old laptop being mad. Yeah, I've tried it before. Like, I certainly can. I'm capable of streaming in 60 frames per second. But with Hearthstone, there's no need to. It's totally silly. There's no advantage. Like, the game does not require smooth movement and stuff. What did you get Legend with this month? We played Spiteful Mage, a homebrewed Spiteful Mage, 7-foot fiend. It's on my YouTube if you want to check it out. On Hearthstone somewhere too. Put all my YouTube decks on Hearthstone. It's a good place to follow me if you're looking for decks. The Zulak deck that you've crafted is good to play at rank 18. Yeah, definitely, Dimitri. That's kind of where it's designed for. I mean, it's not going to be the best deck you've ever played because it's a budget deck, but it's going to be, if you only have 1,000 dust, it's going to be something that's good for you. One of the better possibilities if you only have 1,000 dust. I'll put it that way. We don't run a second weapon in this deck, so sometimes I feel like saving this is actually way more valuable than just hitting face. It's not like we're going to overwrite it with an Eaglehorn Bow because we're looking for damage. 2 good turn 4 options, but we're quickly running out of cards. It's weird. I feel like we haven't drawn anything. I guess Jeweled Macaw is the only difference there. Last game we had a couple Jeweled Macaws. Could you bless my next arena run? Sure, as soon as he plays this card, I will do that. And I'm going to try to go faster to catch up on chat. I've been too mouthy today. I'm talking too much. Okay. Holy Bro, please bless the arena run here of Juan the Pumpkin. He has one of the best names on Twitch. He deserves it. He deserves it, I tell you. Alright. I don't want that getting extra cards, so I am going to Flanking Strike it. We've done this twice in a row where we Flanking Striked on 4 and then Hound Mastered on 5. We're getting into Brawl territory, though, so I'm getting nervous. I would rather go tall than wide, so if we can take a good trade into something with, like, the Bear Shark, I think we certainly will. I'm going to start attacking with this weapon when it looks like we can line up a lethal in, like, 2 to 3 turns, which I don't think we can right now, because it's Warrior, he has Hero Power Armor, and probably lots of taunts and life gain, of course, because he's a Taunt Warrior, so... I'm not attacking yet, but there's going to reach a point where I think we're going to line it up towards making sure we have enough damage at the killing point, but that has not happened yet, especially because of stuff like that. Okay, Slam, that's interesting. I like it. How much do we play into Brawl here? 0 amount? You cannot execute this, so Execute or Shield Slam do not become a threat. So the trade into this shouldn't matter much, other than perhaps a weapon like, yeah, a weapon. Blood Razor could indeed threaten it. I don't want the Blood Razor to threaten it. Because it'd go down to 3, Blood Razor Whirlwind, trade. Take 6, granted. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and trade here. Blood Razor will now kill the 3-1. Do I play into Brawl? I don't think yet, because we do have the High Main, which is going to be way better next time. This gives me a little bit of reload or an instant cheap kill command activator too. So this does have a little bit of value long term. Even like Tundra Rhino can charge it or something. So good read, guys. Not a read really, just safe play, you know, not killing yourself for no reason. It's really good with High Main. High Main has a good chance of sticking here, I think. I don't know that we're getting too close yet, but we're getting there with Wolf Rider. This is 10, 11. 14, 16. This could also represent like a Wind Fury attack. So, We might be able to kill him soon. Dry sockets are bad. Yeah, I know for sure. I've heard. Jerks told some horror stories. Yeah, I think so too, Jerks. Yeah, I hope you're right, but I still don't want to. I don't want to, like, you know, the boogeyman effect. Yes, exactly, Rango. Yeah, I don't want to, like, risk the boogeyman effect, right? Wind Fury, please. +3 health. That's not really what I needed. Okay. Well, this kind of sucks. I mean, I guess if he ever kills it, he's gonna have a lot of dudes to deal with. We drew the other candle shot the exact turn I ran out of charges. That's pretty good. That's nice. So I guess we timed it perfectly. Alright, so this now pops out 6 damage when you kill it. Although it's pretty bad against things like whirlwind effects. Does he have another way to kill this easily, I wonder? There's a car outside. Oh, man. That's a lot of stuff. Does he have any cheap whirlwind? Like, he can kill this stuff next turn, but he just puts himself dead. We have 5, 7, 9. I mean, we drew damage as well, but we didn't need much extra, right? Cool. 3 in a row. Do I still don't have a deck tracker? I still don't have a deck tracker up. Oh my god, I'm the worst. I am literally the worst. Oh my god, let's do it right now while I'm thinking. I just got so into the games, guys. I'm sorry. I'm like zoned in today. I don't know what it is. I'm zoned in. There's a car alarm going outside, but I don't think you guys can hear it probably, especially if I'm not talking. I think the gate is preventing it from coming through. Deck tracker's up. Oh my god. There we go. I gotta skip ahead a little bit. Code of the Hunter deck. Somebody might be able to pull it up for you in using the extension in chat there. 550 Ryan says, I put the dinner in the slow cooker and forgot to turn it on. It's a very slow cooker, it turns out. Very slow cooker. Deck trackers are for scrubs. There's all the pink spam. Okay, you guys are good. You guys are good. Hello, everybody I haven't said hello to yet. Oh my god, I even missed a sub. How did this happen? I didn't even hear this go through. Xenon Rexroth, dude. Thank you for the sub, Xenon. That's awesome, man. Appreciate it. Enjoy your new sub badge, enjoy your mode. Sorry for the delay. I'm so far behind on chat. So much trouble here. I'm in just. I know I'm in heaps of trouble from you guys. I'm so far behind. Atheno says, found you on YouTube, watch a few of your Theorycraft videos, great content. Well, thanks, man, I appreciate it, that's awesome. Hey, Shiny Beast, hey, the deck tracker has been there from Twitch. Good point, that helps, that always makes a difference. Not everybody sees that, though, because of mobile. It's not always viewable because of mobile specifically, so that can cause some problems. I got 30 packs worth of gold hype for the next expansion. Nice, yeah. It's good when you get that kind of free gold, right? That's always the best gold. The free gold. Alright, Flanking Strike here is... It's not bad. It's not good. Wouldn't describe it as good, but it's not bad. And this is obviously Recruit Hunter running this package. So let's think about Recruit Hunter and their removal. He has Flanking Strike. He has some more taunts, certainly. He's going to Flanking Strike our 4-1, I presume. Maybe the 3-3. You might have Candle Shot for this later. Good thing is he can't do both right now. That's very nice. Does he have any whirlwind effects? No, not typically, and they don't run Unleash the Hounds. Just really just candle shots. I think we're okay to put stuff at 1 health here and just maximize our damage output. Turn 5, he has what do they have on turn 5? I always feel like 5 is a pretty weak turn for me when I play Recruit Hunter. Witchwood Grizzly. Okay, we can work with that. That's no problem. We got kill command there. Does this get me a lethal at all? We should definitely check the damage here. What do we have? 7, 10, 12? Not quite. Oh, I should have played this first, but I'm still getting hero power, I think, always. We have enough minions on board. It's that hero power now just represents killing him very, very soon. Rexar's our worst play because it kills 2 minions. Only this would live. He'd be at 9. We put him down to 7. Of course, he has the Rexar. Houndmaster buff here, though. Man, we could have played Hyena, actually, for a great play, I think. I kind of regret that now. Originally, I didn't think it was important because I wanted a hero power, but it was such a good answer to Rexar because this would have gone to 3 health. Then if he played Rexar, he would have buffed it even more to set up like a lethal kill. So maybe a bit of a misstep there, but again, our hero power is just so valuable, I can't not do it. We still have this 2-turn kill set up, so. I guess August will be crazy for Blizzard releases, huh? Yeah, I know. Battle for Azeroth and the Hearthstone expansion are probably going to hit at the same time, which feels weird. It feels odd that they're going to kind of compete with one another. I feel like it's going to hurt Hearthstone a little bit. Did that also happen previously? It happened with Legion and what, like One Night in Karazhan maybe came out at the same time? Which is not really much. I mean, well, I guess it's still competing with each other. Close to the same time. I don't know exactly when. But pretty close to the same time period. Okay, guys, we are now 4-0 with a budget mid-range hunter. We are absolutely rolling face, demolishing dudes. Is that right? 4-0? That seems too good. Like, that seems too strong. 4-0 today, yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, let's play one more game then. Maybe we'll get a loss in and we'll call it quits on the mid-range hunter. I mean, clearly it's working. We see how to play it. We know what's happening. We're mulliganing pretty well. We're learning about it a little bit. How much gold do you save for the new expansion? Usually none. No saving, to be honest. I have before, just if it works out, but I don't like actively try to, because I end up buying, you know, 200-300 packs anyway. So to me, it ends up not mattering much. I end up getting every card anyway at some level or another. That's not like a brag or a humble brag or anything. It's not a big deal. Obviously, I'm a spot to do that, thankfully. But so I don't worry about it too much. If I have some, I buy packs with it, sure, just to save money. But I don't like go out of my way to save gold. So if I need to buy arena runs or packs for videos or whatever, I'll just do it. Same for dust. Like, you know, I've crafted a few golden legendaries for fun as opposed to worrying about the dust total. That said, I think I still have like 10k dust right now, so we're still doing okay on the dust count. It's not like I'm destitute or anything. Next expansion is going to be lit. I hope so. I think if it's Netherstorm stuff, it could be really cool. If it's like, if it's Burning Crusade-esque and Netherstorm-esque, and we get like Tempest Keep, and like, there's going to be some cool potential stuff. Usually this goes worse than it goes better, right? If I attack now, really only Explosive Trap is good. Wandering Monster's probably bad. I could play the Hyena first. I could also play the Animal Companion first. That's almost always Wandering Monster, right? Let's just see what it is and then make a decision based on that. Maybe it'll be a 1 health Wandering Monster. No. Not Huffer. That's fine. I can live with this. We set up a trade. He got a 2-2 out of his Wandering Monster. That's not so good. Although the Fire Elementals could be a pain. Who knows? Leok. Hey, we got a Leok. Is Kill Command worth it here just to establish the minion advantage?
Welcome.
Could also like Hunter's Mark,
Some room by the hearth, won't you?
Hyena.
I have nothing to type here but 4 months.
I kind of like this. I kind of like this better. It probably seems a bit early, I understand, but I could have even made an interesting play where I Hunter's Marked my own Leok and traded to buff this, but I don't think that ever worked out very well. What just happened? Who was that? What was that message? That was I'm the Huggernaut dropping 4 months. Holy moly, man. Thank you for the 4-month resub, Huggernaut. One of the best names on Twitch. You have a lot of people with really good names. You guys are very creative when it comes to names. I love it. Okay, so how hard are we going to punish this dude for this explosive trap, right? This is the goal. Like, we're going to damage our Houndmaster here just to buff our Hyena. Right? That's the plan here. Damage our dude to buff our dude. Cool. I dig it. Punished. A lot of damage in hand. But he's at 24. Flanking Strike's great answer. 24 is a long way to go here still. Long way to go. High main is great to see. Do we ever Wolf Rider this to protect this? No, we can't really protect that. It just dies to the 1/2. Bear Shark also dies for free though, so this is kind of a bad play. Do I ever trade the 4/1 in to protect the Bear Shark? Let's think. He goes down to 18. We're quite a bit off. This is 8, theoretically, 9, 12. That would require 3 more hero powers. I think we try to protect the Bear Shark. It can't be flanking strike, so the only thing that can happen to it is Eagle Horn Bow. Or maybe like a trade explosive trap or something. I don't know. So, Eagle Horn Bow, he takes 4 damage anyway. It's kind of the same difference. Trade explosive trap, really? That was a joke. I was mostly joking. Maybe it's just freezing trap. Looks like just freezing trap to me. If that's the case, we might be able to hit a pretty crazy cool Wolf Rider here. That's definitely freezing trap, right? Do we value the Bear Shark more, or do we just want to play the high main? I think we just play the high main, right? If I could do both flanking strike and Wolf Rider, I would play those together, but I can't. And the kill command doesn't really do anything right now, so staying on curve with the kill command is not very advantageous. I think we'll just eat this. Oh, it's neither. Okay, that's fine too, I guess. Kind of the same difference as the freezing trap, because we were never going to play that again anyway at 5 mana. Kind of the same difference. I'm going to Boston tomorrow, so I'm going to be 1 time zone ahead of you, I think. Yeah, you will indeed. It's pretty crazy how far away Boston is to only be 1 time zone apart, but that is indeed how it works. So here's the good flanking strike. Nice. We need to be a little bit worried about our health, but I don't think too crazy worried. Let's see. So that leaves him with 5, 7. He would need 9 additional damage from hand. That certainly is possible. We could play the Wolf Rider here just to maintain a huge board advantage. I guess I will. I could also go face and put him at 13, but I'm a little bit worried about dying. Also, this protects him at 3/3 a little more, maybe. I'm scared I'll draw a Hunter's Mark and want this weapon, so I'm going to hold it for 1 more turn. We have 9, 14, 16 right here, so we shouldn't need the weapon if the stuff all lives as I expect. Oh my. There's the Hunter's Mark, though, or there's the weapon I need. So there we go. Perfect. How much damage do we have, though? How much damage do we have? We have 5, 10, 12, 13. So not quite there. We do need to kill that straight up, I think. Right, 5, 6, 8, plus 5 is 13. A little off. Okay, that's fine. Glad I saved the weapon charge. Yeah, I don't think he should have an answer to this. Is like any sort of Katharina play dead lethal opportunity. I guess if he gets King Crush and a dude, it's still only 15, right? Charge Devil Sword plus King Crush is only 15. That said, a Grizzly could give us a little bit of trouble if he had a Grizzly in the deck. I don't know how that works, but we can maybe kill command it and use the Hyena trades to get through a Grizzly even. 5-0 with the budget hunter, guys. And there you go. That was the budget mid-range hunter. We absolutely demolished people with this deck. 1,000 dust or less, doesn't matter. At legend ranks, still winning games, dominating folks, beating true meta decks just easily, frankly. Barely struggled at all in some of those. Just ran over people. And that's what Hunter's good at. You can just put together damage, put together threats, put together minions, and before you know it, the game is over, the game is won, and you're climbing stars on the ladder. So if you play it well, you will likely find some success with this deck. Again, I don't expect you to play it to Legend, but you can win games, you can complete quests, you can do all the things you need to do for a very cheap, affordable deck to get started. Try out Hunter, see what it feels like, experiment with it. This is the deck that allows you to do that. That said, if you have any thoughts, recommendations, questions, of course, you can leave those in the comments below. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, game on.